And here we are live from Road America, the 11th race of the ESRA IndyCar Series, the National Park of Speed, as it's known, up here in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. I'm joined in the booth, as always, by Mr. Dean Doucet. Dean, it's going to be a big race here tonight, and we have a lot of different drivers out here on the top of the board. And the points battle, while it is a little bit big, it's still up in the air.
Yeah, still up in the air after last week. Chris Wilhite running into some problems, not having his best finish or not really finishing at all, Jared. So allowing Alex Coates to get back in it amongst a couple others should be interesting. Looking forward to, getting into it tonight and seeing if Coates or Miller and Alexander Ball, who missed last week, Jared, says he's going to make up those points. So we'll be watching him tonight as well.
Yeah, you're exactly right, Dean. And we're trying to get some see what's going on here. We're not getting any data from the server here. Trying to figure out what is going on here, and it looks
Maybe I can help you out, Jared. What are you looking for?
I apologize. It looks like I have been booted. So give me 1 second. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we will get this thing back rolling live here in just a moment.
The field is rolling on the back straightaway.
Get ready. This is going to be tight. Out of turn 4, ladies and gentlemen. The All-American 400 is underway.
Got to be careful. The bumps here can get you every time. Entering the corner, exiting the corner.
Thanks for bearing with us, everybody. We got it back under control here. Dean, live from Road America, Elkhart Lake. It's round number 11, and we got qualifying going on right now. Tough track here at Road America.
Sorry, I'm listening to double here, Beard. Bear with me for a minute, but yeah, glad to have you back. Qualifying underway. J.W. Miller out on the track, amongst others. Will Height Watson. It's going to be a fun one here tonight, man. I love Road America, Jared.
It's a great track, and we apologize for the technical difficulties. Just can't always predict when the broadcaster might get disconnected from the server. But we are good to go now. Looking at our race information here tonight, 33 laps around this track. They're going to have 5 sets of total tires to use. Now, they don't have to use blacks and reds. They can use one or the other. So that's going to be something to keep an eye on here tonight. Looking at our track temp, 101 degrees, Dean. It is a warm one up there in the lake regions of Wisconsin. Partly cloudy, and they're going to get a headwind down the front straightaway here tonight at Road America.
Yeah, kind of interesting to see that 99-degree track. I mean, we're usually down in the 80s or 70s, so perhaps a little bit slicker out here. We don't know. Maybe it'll warm it up and get a little extra grip. Never sure how these things will work out from track to track and place to place. But nonetheless, man, we've had some of the most entertaining races, Jared, in the road racing side of this series. They haven't always panned out to the complete end, but we've had 3-way battles and 2-way battles at the front that are nose to tail and just passes and heart pounding action. And I'm really looking forward to see if we get more of it tonight.
Yeah, you're exactly right, Dean. We've had some great races. We go back to Barber Motorsports Park. Mario Mirinda and Roger Rios Mateus battled in that one. J.W. Miller ended up coming home second. We went to Circuit Americas. It was Mateus and Mirinda again. Contact between those two drivers, and Mateus went on to win. Then we went on to Detroit Belle Isle. J.W. Miller and Roger Rios Mateus battled. Mateus made one mistake, and it became the J.W. Miller show. 4th road course here this season. I don't know what more we can get this time around, but Road America, Dean, it's a track that features almost 500 feet of total elevation change from start-finish line to start-finish line. So it's a track that has a lot of different ups and downs, if you will.
Yeah, it really does. There's elevation changes and some interesting parts of the track for passing, and a lot of the track is really kind of open for passing. Even in unexpected areas, you can get it done with a little help from a mistake from another driver. But look for that big straightaway. You'll have to forgive me for not knowing the turn numbers too well. But the big straightaway, or somewhere around turn 5 or so, you come down the hill, down to a hard left-hander, and especially early on in this race, during the race start, there could be a lot of action there, perhaps even a lot of carnage.
Yeah, you're exactly right, Dean. We still have some guys qualifying. Chris Wilhite, purple so far. So he is going to the top of the board. Let's go ahead and take a look at our championship standings here. Chris Wilhite with the points lead, 59 points over Alec Coates. Those two drivers have made all 10 events so far this season. J.W. Miller sitting third, but he's only 77 back, still within striking distance of this championship. Then we have Ball and Mateus rounding out our top 5. Combs, Rest, Cullen Johnston, Scott Weiss, Dylan Thomas, your top 10.
Yeah, and some interesting battles, like Thomas, McMurray, and Dittmer, all very close. Hand and Musselman close. You got Benjamin Cones and Rest fighting for 6th and 7th. Mateus, who's just an awesome road course racer, will be looking to move into maybe 3rd or even 4th, one of those 2 spots where Ball and Miller is. So all kinds of battles all along. Everybody hoping Wilhite has another bad evening, but right now he's looking pretty good out there.
And let's take a look at our qualifying times right now, Dean. And you got these guys on the track. Wilhite is on the track still. They have 3 laps they can do, so that's quite a bit of time to get some laps in. Here's Wilhite is on his 2nd lap right now, and is the leader. James Watson, who made his debut last week, he is 2nd. Alec Coates 3rd. That's a good starting position for him. He's going to have to be aggressive, I think, Dean, in this race if he wants to get back in this championship battle with 5 races to go.
Yeah, he really is. He's going to have to be aggressive. He's going to have to really do something to stay in front of Wilhite. There's still time in this series, but the time is now to make your move. So we'll see how content he is to try and hold 2nd, or if he wants to push and be our points leader.
You're exactly right. Got a lot of guys that, didn't come out last week for the Oval, but are back here. Sebastian Kinder, the Frenchman's out here tonight. Good to see him back out there. Little bit different looking car. It's got pink and neon green on the front and then the French flag on the back. I'll give an A+ for creativity. It's a very interesting machine, that 97 is. Jay Shallington, who surprised us with the podium finish. He's up there in sixth on the board right now. So some new guys making it happen here already.
Yeah, and we've seen that in the past. And, Sebastian Kinder, it's got a big following out of France there. And, yeah, you're right about that car. It's a little bit bipolar almost. It shakes you up a little bit. But back in the pack there a bit, you got Zach T. Evans, Casey Duncan's out here tonight. Old Joseph Gravala's back on the track. So, and Rios Mateos, Jared, still not posting a time as of right now. He is on the track currently.
Yeah, he is. He's going right now down the hurry downs is what they call this section of the track. And you can understand why when you're on board with him. It's a hard left hand to a right hand to a straightaway to a left hand before you come around to the carousel up there in turn 9 and 10, right before you go into the kink, which is where he's at right now. Mateus is turning purple sector time, so this is looking like a good lap through here. Let's see if he can get it done on the top.
Yeah, he's got to keep this thing on the track. Apparently having a little bit of problem on his first go-around, so he's got to keep this thing in. This is a tricky little section here. Little right-hander through the S's down into a left-hander.
Locked it up there through Canada Corner, Dean. You saw the smoke there. That is a very tough section, and I think that's going to be a big spot for us to watch out for tonight.
Well, I'm going to have to watch that corner with particular interest, being Canadian.
There you go. And Mateus is going to come across the line underneath the bridge there. And Mateus, I don't think this is going to be a pole-worthy lap time, but it is not 3/10 of a second slower than Wilhite. We have some competition here tonight, Dean. The top 4 drivers, all within a half a second. That is pretty dang close.
It really is. And, a little bit of a surprise to see Wilhite on top there. Now, some of the, the oval style drivers like myself kind of like Road America, so maybe not that much of a surprise. But and Alexis Newsom, she had some great runs last week and the week before, and look for her to do some damage. And James Watson, another, newer guy to the series. So it's very interesting out here what we're seeing in qualifying. Usually someone out here about a second ahead of everybody.
You're exactly right. We go on board Roger Rios Mateus. He's going through the hurry downs right now, down into this tight left-hand section here. He still has an opportunity to get another lap in, but unlikely he'll improve. He's going through the carousel right here, and this is a very deceiving section of the track, Dean, because you carry a lot of speed through there, but if you carry too much, you're going to understeer, go off the track. Then you come down to this kink, which is flat out on fresh tires, but as those tires start to wear, I think we're going to see some lifting there, or we might see some guys oversteer off the track. Then it's a long straightaway, hard braking zone down here to Canada Corner, and then you're going to come back out there, get on the curb a little bit, go up the track, and then this is basically 13-14 complex here, and another tight right-hander to come back on the front straightaway. Danny locks it up, and Mateus went purple when he's off the track, and that's going to do it.
That just leaves Joseph T out here doing his lap, and he's got a sharp-looking machine as well, Jared.
Yeah, let's get a little bit better view of that. Joseph Gravala, that is a machine you're not going to miss on the track. That is for sure, as he is looking very good, but I don't think he's going to be able to complete this lap. There's 5 seconds left, so the checker flag is going to come out on the session, and that's going to do it. So Gravala not going to be able to get his lap in. He's going to start 18th here on the grid tonight, Dean.
Such a shame for the 77 there to not finish that lap, but these things happen. He's got time to make it up.
You're exactly right, and it's a long one, 33 laps as we talked about, and it's going to be an excellent race. Let's go ahead and get into the starting grid here as you see the drivers up on the lineup right now. Chris Wilhite, if you can believe this, first road course pole of the year. He's going to start on top. Roger Rios Mateus 3/10 off there in second place. Row number 2, last week's winner, Alexis Newsom at Texas. She's back. Row number 2 starting alongside James Watson, who finished 4th. Row number 3 is second place in points man, Alec Coates, and J.W. Miller, who won last time we were at a road course at Detroit Belle Isle. Row 4 is the Frenchman, Sebastian Kinder, and Jay Shallington, who had a great third-place run last week. And then rounding out our top 10, Benjamin Combs and Alexander Ball back in action after moving last week.
Yeah, going into row number 6, you got the 31 of Scott Weiss. You know, Scott has shown brilliance at times, but really hasn't been able to finish these races, Jared. He's got to get that car under control tonight and finish a race. Zach T. Evans had some decent finishes recently. We'll look for him to move forward. In 13th, you're going to have Alex Ress in the 09. In the 30, it's Casey Duncan starting 14th. Cullen Johnston will be in 15th. Gary Corley 16th. McMurray is going to be in the 48 car in 17th. Kyle Ramsey and Joseph Gravala. I think Kyle Ramsey is your race control for the night. Joseph Gravala will round out the field in 18th place.
Exactly right, Dean. 18 drivers, and they're going to do a full pace lap here at Grand Prix Road America, so we'll have some time to kind of look at these machines. Some beautiful machines, actually. Chris Wilhite, that purple-black machine. Roger Mateus, a new look for him in that orange and white Tito's Vodka machine. That is a sharp-looking car, Dean. I mean, we got some very sharp-looking Indy cars.
Yeah, I talk about it all the time. Not only the paints that these guys run that look great and everything, but the cars themselves, I think they're the best on all of the circuit on iRacing. They look just fantastic. The closer up you get, the better they look. It's just awesome to see.
Take a look at some of our drivers here tonight going around this track. There's Roger Mateus on board him there, trying to get back going. I mean, you know, he's had some great races, but it just seems like he'll have a great race and then just kind of makes that mistake, Dean. He's got to get it done here at the beginning and then not make mistakes at the end of this race.
Yeah, well, we're missing Mario Miranda out here tonight. That's someone who usually puts it to him and makes him fight hard. Mario not in this event. That's a shame for all of us. But Matthias, if he can just be calm and patient, this could be his race, and it could be his race quite easily. So we'll see if he's got that kind of mindset at the beginning of this race.
Looking out the back here of Alec Coates' machine, second in points, Dean. This is a big race for him because he's 59 points out. There's 50 points on offering. Second place gets 35. He comes out of here with the win. I mean, he can start getting himself back in this championship mix, and we've seen him be successful on the ovals where we know he can get it done. 5 races to go, 2 road courses, 3 ovals. This is a crucial point in his season if he's going to challenge Chris Wilhite.
Yeah, it is. He's got to, I mean, starting back here in 5th, though, he's got to be patient. He's got to allow and hope that Chris Wilhite makes a mistake, because you don't want to come into this beginning of this race with this charge forward mentality. As soon as we get into that hard left-hand corner down the hill, I mean, boy, oh boy, you got to be careful down there. And if everybody's together, I'm scared for what might happen.
Good point. Exactly right, Dean. We look on board Mr. Scott Weiss. Dean, you've talked about Scott being that guy that, you know, he's shown speed everywhere, even road courses, but just seems to just make that one mistake and then it compounds and then his race is over.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to label him. I mean, this is an oval racer, okay, and he's doing all he can out here, and he's showing flashes that he can do it, but definitely needs to come in tonight with the mentality of forget about speed. Let's talk longevity, you know, getting through this race with a clean car, no mistakes. That should be Scott Weiss's focus.
And by no means any disrespect meant there. Scott's a great driver. We just want to see him do good out here, and tonight might be his night. And we look through some of these other guys. Gary Corley making a return back to the series. Good to see Gary out here tonight after missing the last 2 or 3 events. Cullen Johnston had a solid run, sitting there in 7th place in points, and really looking for good points tonight. His teammate is Alec Coates, so he is going to be running some interference there in that number 9 for him tonight. And we always have to keep an eye on Mr. J.W. Miller, Mr. Excitement. I think he can get up there and get winning, but 6th place is going to be a difficult spot to come from.
Yeah, he's got his work cut out, but he will definitely move forward. We've seen what he did last week. And a little update from YouTube. Kinder drives for Team Watson Racing, and he has the colors in the car. Also, Let's Get Her Done, Team Mediocre Motorsports, and Team Watson Racing.
Well, there we go. And that pace car is about to make its way down pit road to start the Grand Prix of Wisconsin. Wilhite Mateus leads him off. coming up the hill on the front straightaway here. Flagman waiting. Flagman waiting. Green flag is out, and we are underway for the Grand Prix of Wisconsin. Great start by Wilhite, but Mateus not letting him get by, and we are 2x2 behind him.
Yeah, Mateus already coming. I don't know if Wilhite wants to let him go right off the hop or not, but he's going to lead down into one here. Off the track there, that might be JW, or was that Newsom?
That was Alexis Newsom going off the track in turn number 1. There they come off turn number 2. It's single file, but we got Kinder battling up underneath of Jay Shallington and Alexis Newsom. So a little bit back there, Corley off the track.
Yeah, it looks like Ress also spinning. He's stuck there. Corley comes by the front. Ress gathers it up. Here comes Joseph Gravallo. Also had a little problem on the start.
Beautiful, beautiful angle when they come up the entrance to the hurry downs there. Kinder doing a really good job making up some positions there on the start. And you see these guys, Mateus not letting Wilhite get away. And a little bit of a gap to third place, but that is Mr. Alec Coates. What a great start by him.
Yeah, Coates doing a great job here, working his way up a couple of spots. Him and JW both coming forward. So as Newsom and Watson fall back 2 spots, so interesting there. Just everybody did a great job down those early turns, but a little bit of hesitancy, a little bit of slowness there allowed these 2 to come forward.
Hard battling right here. Coates, Miller, Mateus, and Wilhite going into Canada corner here, and honestly, Dean, not a lot of drivers making mistakes through here. Road America is a track that a lot of these guys are familiar with. I mean, it's raced in the Xfinity Series in real life, and it's raced in IndyCar for the last 20 years or more. So it's a very familiar track. We got Casey Duncan off track, but it looks like he's able to go. And Wilhite's going to lead the first lap here at Road America.
And you brought up a great point about this being in the Xfinity Series and that. Now, obviously, this is going to help someone like Chris Wilhite, and it's showing out here. Maybe his, inability to win on road thus far before here is a lot about track familiarity, because it's such a big advantage if you know these tracks really well.
And that's exactly right. I mean, you go to Detroit Belle Isle, and even if you run the official series that iRacing offers, you're going to see that track once or twice a year. It's not on every single schedule, even though it is a IndyCar track. Whereas Road America, Watkins Glen, you're going to see these tracks quite a bit on, even if it's not on IndyCar schedule, you're going to see it on a different schedule and be able to go out there and race it. And you're really seeing these guys doing a good job. I mean, fanning out a little bit, but nobody's really been able to get a hold as we go on board. Mr. Excitement, J.W. Miller, running fourth, trying to catch up to Alec Coates.
Yeah, JW here, right on the back of him. I mean, it's pretty hard to pass in here early on when tires are fresh. Not too many mistakes being made, but look for him to try and make a move here as we get up into these harder corners. As you come down here, a little left-hander into a very hard right-hander, Canada corner, and we'll see if he can make the move here.
If there's one and there's somebody going up on the inside. That's Alexis Newsom. What a power move as she slams it down through Canada corner.
So as I'm thinking JW may make the move, Alexis makes the move. Excellent move by her.
What a move it was. Holy cow. I mean, we were on board, and Newsom was about 3/10 back. That's not really an angle where you get a run on, but Newsom's on the back of Mr. Alec Coates. He's going to look underneath of him going into turn 1.
Yeah, that pass was done all under braking, and we'll see if she can out-brake Coates here.
Hard on the brakes. This is a tight turn 1. Plenty of space given. Miller's going to follow through. We also have James Watson trying to get in this battle. Kinder and Benjamin Combs not too far back. But this battle is 4 seconds behind our 2 race leaders. But it's a dandy of a battle for third place.
Man, is it ever. What a ton of action back there. Great job by everybody staying clean. Big shout out to Alec Coates there, kind of backing out a little bit. He might lose a couple of spots out of the deal, but he's determined to keep that car clean.
Kinder looking underneath Alec Coates. He's lost a couple spots as Watson's got by. Now Kinder, the Frenchman, looking underneath of him now. So Coates may have used his stuff up just a little bit there, trying to stay ahead, or he just kind of got out of the groove, got on some of those marbles, and those red tires do not like marbles. Newsom goes off track, gets it retained.
Newsom really pushing that machine. JW on the outside there, thinking about maybe an over-under move here. I'm not sure.
There's so much action, it's hard to see everything that's going on the track, but this is some beautiful stuff. J.W. Miller getting a nice drag, going through the kink, down toward Canada corner, and can he outbrake Newsom going into here?
I'm not sure he can after what we just saw. She is driving deeper in than most, and you can see how much time she gained there.
Unbelievable racing. J.W. Miller flying up through 13 and 14 here. James Watson's on the tail as well. Coates has dropped the 6th on that one lap. Kinder is right behind him, and behind him we have Benjamin Combs. This is a battle for 3rd place, and it contains 5 drivers on a road course. What great, amazing road course race we got tonight.
Yeah, 5, potentially more even. You know, you go back to Jay Shellington at the back of that group back there. A couple of cars, Weiss and Ball back a little further. But yeah, tons of battling. And up front, there's also battling as Mateus and Wilhite are really nose to tail now.
Going through the moraine sweep right now as Mateus has got a little bit of a toe. He's going to look inside, going into turn 4, Alex against it. But he's going to get a nice exit coming up here, entering the hurry downs, and maybe might be able to make a move before the carousel.
Yeah, I like Mateus's, chances here. He is really dialed in on these road courses. It's really about mistakes, which you brought up, not only on the track, but also on pit road, Jared. And that could be the key tonight, something we haven't talked about too much. These guys will have to get on this and off this pit road in good fashion.
And we got Newsom going off track, and she's done that before, Dean. At the end of the hurry downs there, turn 8, goes off the track and loses 3 positions. Coates, Watson, and Miller both get by her, and she's gone off track twice there, but has been able to hold on to position, not so much that time.
Yeah, well, with that late braking and just pushing that car beyond the boundaries of what is capable of, this is going to happen. You're going to see her, I guess, if she's going to drive the whole race like this, you're going to see her move forward and fall back and move forward again. So maybe she'll be Mrs. Excitement. Who knows?
And there you go. And this is a good battle up front. Mateus didn't get a good exit out of turn 15 there, but still has a nice little drag here. But I think he's just a little bit too far back to make a move on Wilhite going into 1. But he's really loose under braking, and that indicates to me, Dean, he's already starting to mess with those front and rear anti-roll bars to try to get a little grip behind Wilhite here.
Yeah, he probably is, and that's something, only the experienced drivers really understand how to manipulate that throughout a race, and Mateus, one of those guys, so be interesting to see if he can manipulate something here, and he's trying to make a move on Wilhite. He keeps thinking about it.
Well, what I like there, Dean, we were on board with him, and he backed off early, trying to get a run going through these next 2 complexes because he's not going to be able to outbrake him, but he wants to be able to get a run through this hurry down section. He's right there. Set up Wilhite through the hurry downs, and then make the move in the carousel. I like what Mateus is doing.
Yeah, I like it too, but he's really trying at all the wrong places. I mean, these are the toughest places to be passing. There's 2 very long straightaways, and he's got to get the exits off of those corners prior to those straightaways and make this move there.
And he did set him up a little bit in the carousel, and if he can get a move through the kink, he is going to get there on the back bumper using a push to pass. And Mateus is going to look underneath going into Canada corner on Wilhite. He's going to take it over.
Wilhite just conceded there. No real surprise from our points leader. He's really not interested in that type of battle. He's going to find out how fast he is now if he can hang in there with Mateus.
You're exactly right. Wilhite locks it up a little bit, entering turn 15, gets that car squared away. But these guys, Dean, have increased their gap to 5 seconds over J.W. Miller. Speaking of Mr. Excitement, J.W. Miller, he's actually been able to pull away from that 5-6 car battle for 3rd place and establish himself in 3rd. Watson in 4th, Coates in 5th, Newsom in 6th, Benjamin Combs in 7th. Those guys a little bit further back now.
Yeah, I mean, right now, you look at the fastest times, Jared. You got Alexis Newman. She's continuing to lay down the fastest times on the track when she's on track. And J.W. Miller also, it looks like he's 2nd on the board right now.
You look at this, and we got our last laps up here. If they are green, that means it's the driver's personal best. So J.W. Miller, Alexis Newsom, Cullen Johnston, Gary Corley, Evans, and Ress all turned their best lap of the race last time. So Newsom is right here. She's on the back of Coates coming up into the hurry downs.
Yeah, Alexis, and she's got to be patient here. Coates hates to see this. Coates is like, didn't I already let you by once?
Not letting her get the outside. Now, this is the turn where she's had some trouble here. Locks it up again. Keeps it on track this time, but that left front, that's the second or third time she's locked it up, Dean, and that's going to cause a lot of handling issues, especially through the high-speed kink and carousel areas.
Yeah, it is. She's got to get that under control. I mean, this is a highly talented driver, perhaps the best driver out here tonight, and she can't let frustration of track position get to her. Be patient. It's lots of time in this race.
Newsome underneath Coates, made it look easy, goes off track.
Again, over pushing, overextending that car. It only costs her time. She lays down the fastest lap, follows it up with a mistake, and ends up further back than she was. These are, she's a young girl out here racing and highly, highly talented. But these are some of the mistakes that veterans like a Wilhite or a Coates just don't make.
You're exactly right, Dean. Watched a different league that she participates in. A couple other drivers participate in. And very fast. I mean, it doesn't matter. The IndyCar collective is small in iRacing, and a lot of the drivers that race in one league will race in another league, will race in another league. And they're all very connected, and she has been up toward the front in all those leagues that she participates in. But here on the road course, she's I think she just knows how fast she is, and sometimes it's hard to harness that as a driver.
It is, and it's a lot to do with qualifying, too. I mean, you got to get out there and establish yourself. If you're a front runner, then go set that lap in qualifying. Don't burden yourself with coming from third or fifth or even further back and having to deal with the problems she's having to deal with here. That's what I would say for any new driver out there who's just working on their racecraft. That is awesome. That's what you should do, but don't underestimate qualifying. It's very important.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And if there are some new drivers listening, if there's one guy that I would listen to, Dean Doucet. I mean, if you haven't watched him on our Monday night broadcast, the guy can get it done, and he is notorious for not using his stuff up. So listen to this, whatever this guy has to give you as far as advice, because it'll take you a long way. Back up front, though, Dean, Wilhite is not dropping off as much as I thought, 8/10 back.
And we have a little problem there. That's James Watson, just off track in front of Coates and Newsome. He's got it back on very quickly, but now under heavy pressure from Coates and Newsome.
And this seems like deja vu all over again, Dean. It seems like we've seen this all 8 laps of this race so far. Watson, Coates, and Newsome all battling for 4th place.
Yeah, it's been something. I mean, Coates has been steady the whole time, but the other two are a little erratic. Fast, then problem, and then fast again. So, and Coates really just wants to get away from them. He's a very clean driver, a points runner, and I like the way he drives, but these other two, very exciting as they get through here. So it's going to be Watson in 4th and Newsome in 5th now.
So, Dean, as a driver, take us in the mindset of Alec Coates when you've let a driver go by you. You know, it could be on an oval or road course. You let a guy go by you 3 or 4 times in a race, and then they come back and you get back around them because of a mistake they made, and then they get back around you. What's kind of going through Alec Coates' mind as he's seeing this happen to Alexis Newsome and among others?
Well, a couple of things. I mean, first, you got to remember he's got the mindset to let him go. So he's obviously a tempered and experienced driver. He's, not interested in these heavy battles early in this race. So he's going to recover. But he's getting highly irritated, even for a guy who prides himself on not getting irritated, because he's got highly volatile drivers continuing to put themselves in jeopardy around him, and he's getting frustrated, and he doesn't want to continue to drop back just to get away from them. So he's hoping this will be the end of it, and they can go on and be done with them.
It does look like Newsome has pulled that gap out. Team Watson Racing, we talked about them earlier, Dean. James Watson having a great run. He's kind of been consistent in 4th place, but now Newsome's all over the back of that number 39 machine. Very brightly colored, neon green and yellow. I love it. And Newsome going to get a good run off turn 15. Alongside him, going up here to the uphill front stretch straight away.
And Newsome already using push to pass.
Dean,
it's down to 7.
Dean, do I see Wilhite in the pits? That is
Chris Wilhite in the pits early.
Apologies for interrupting there, but Chris Wilhite is in the pit lane. I thought I saw him going by there. Alexis Newsome will make the move, but Wilhite making an early stop on lap number 9 here, Dean. And if that's any indication, we're looking at a 2 or 3 stop race here tonight.
So I'm watching down. He was following our leader, Rios Mateos, right with him, Jared, down into Canada corner, through the corner, and touched the wall just a little bit. Decided at the end of that lap, you know what? I'm coming in. We're going to get this fixed right now.
We do have a replay of that on board. Chris Wilhite here. And he's coming into Canada corner, and you see Mateus locks him up in front of him, and that smoke, Dean, has gotten a lot worse, or a lot harder to see through, I should say, after the updates. And Wilhite, you're exactly right, got off track, and the car was a little bit difficult to drive uphill there. Might have had some damage on that machine.
Yeah, might have. It's hard to say what caused that to happen for him, but you know, he's a veteran, and he's not going to mess around. He's getting it right in the pits, get it fixed. And we don't know about strategy. We're on lap 9 and 33. You know, this will be a 2-stopper, I would think, for Wilhite at this point. Probably is for everybody. I'm not really sure.
And Dean, I want to point out a couple things. You know, typically when we talk about this race in the road courses, most drivers are on those softer red tires.
JW's in.
JW Miller is in, so he's coming in. But I do want to point out Thaddeus McMurray has elected to go with the blacks. Now, he did go off track a little bit earlier, but Dean, this could be an interesting strategy for Thaddeus McMurray because, in theory, he should be able to go longer on those tires.
Yeah, very interesting. The first time we've seen it, and I like it. Someone finally trying this alternate compound. Can he stay out here longer? As pit stops do continue to come in, Miller, Watson, Coates, and Kinder all in pit lane. So perhaps Chris Wilhite, just on a scheduled stop after that little incident, he just, maybe it wasn't about that, just a scheduled stop for him.
You're exactly right, Dean. Look at all those drivers in. You can see them down there at the bottom of our pit stop tracker. Watson down and away. Coates getting there as well. And we also have Sebastian Kinder, the Frenchman. Somebody locks up in front of a race leader. That is, looks like maybe Thaddeus McMurray, actually. No, it wasn't. I'm not sure who that is, but somebody locked up big time, and now Mateus is kind of in that precarious spot. Oh, it's Alex Ress. So Alex Ress and Zach T. Evans battling in front of him. And
it looks like Casey Duncan's actually in front of our leader.
So there we go. So, yeah, Casey Duncan and Alex Ress. And Ress nearly gets in the back of him, locks up the brakes, and he spins it in front of our race leader.
Wow, Jared, that almost ended our race leader's night. Unbelievable. You were right. That was Ress, who was already a lap down. Duncan was in front of him. Wow, was that heart-pounding stuff for Rios Mateos, who's coming in.
And that was very close. Mateus has said, I've had enough. I'm getting in the pits. And now we get to see how these pit stops have come up. Let's bring up those pit lane times, Dean, and see where these guys are at right now. Miller with the 47.1. He's the fastest fastest so far on pit road.
Yeah, so far, what's interesting, though, is Alexis Newsom, not that far back from Mateus, coming in the pits. So watch out for that. All 4 leaders are in right now.
Now, this is where J.W. Miller has to put down the lap. He's got to put down a great outlap, and he can have the opportunity to overtake here. Let's bring up our track map. It's going to be close here coming down the front straightaway. Miller might inherit the lead.
Mateo's coming out now.
And there it is. Miller is there.
He's there, but not quite there. He's right in the picture, though, and we'll see how good he is here on this track, if he can hang with Mateus.
And there's a lap car there. My goodness, I'm not sure who that was, but that was very, very precarious.
It definitely was. Looks like Wilhite has come out of this situation in good shape, too. Jared sitting in third, not far back.
That's Scott Weiss there, trying to get out of the way, but, you know, sometimes it's just good to run your line. Oh, and Weiss spins it. As we were saying, that Weiss locks it up. Just getting probably a little bit nervous around those race leaders there. And
another wipeout right behind him. Someone trying to adjust. I don't know who that was. That looks...
Trying to find it. That looks like Alexis Newsom. That is Alexis Newsom. Let's get a replay on this. So Newsom coming off the Maureen sweep, going into turn 5. And just gets in the grass. and spins the car around, loses the front wing. I see some debris there. I think she's lost the front wing.
She has jumped to the pits. And Alexis Newsom, I mean, that one was just unfortunate timing with a car around her, spooked her, who was having problems and everything. But man, she was pushing that car so hard, fastest car on the track, but just not able to keep it on the track. Right now up front, Matthias over Miller and Wilhite chasing.
Exactly right, Dean. These guys continue to push here. Matthias, Miller, Wilhite, the top three, and they're all within a blanket now. But Wilhite losing a little bit of contact with them. J.W. Miller, what a pit stop he had, Dean. Able to get on and off pit road and make himself a factor in this event.
Yeah, he had a quick pit time of 8 seconds. Also, the pit lap time, 47.2, making up time on everybody. So JW doing everything he can here, and he is there. I mean, Mr. Excitement back in that position to create some excitement here.
Finished second at Texas and then won at Detroit Belle Isle. And Dean, we talked about this before in the IndyCar series and other series. You get on a roll. Sometimes you get a good finish or you win your first race or whatever the case may be. And all of a sudden you just go on a streak and it's magic in a way.
It really is. I mean, we've seen it time and time again. A driver will run several races, sometimes several seasons, Jared, without a win, and everybody thinks they should be winning. They finally get one, and then bam, 2, 3, 4. It just snowballs for them. It's a breakthrough moment when they get one, and I think JW had it last week.
J.W. Miller had a great run at Texas. Came up a little bit short to Alexis Newsom.
The week before, perhaps.
But at Detroit, definitely dominated that event. And the leader's catching up to Alex Russ again. We saw what happened last time, and this is going to make Matthias a little bit nervous, I'm sure. But Russ gets out of the way.
We got a message from Kimberly Ball that Alex Ball is a great driver. Yes, I am her mother. Or his mother, sorry.
Let's check in on Alex Ball. Kind of a quiet night, Dean. I mean, he's only up 2 spots, running in 8th place here. Not kind of the Alex Ball type night we typically talk about.
Well, I don't know about that. It kind of is typical. I mean, you know, I'm a big fan of Alexander Ball. He's one of the cleanest drivers out here, methodical. In almost every single race, he ends up in the top 5 late. And he looks like he's doing a very similar thing. He's up 2 spots in 8th place, just picking them off, just waiting for mistakes. This is a guy who doesn't make many, if any, mistakes at all. I expect he might climb into the top 5 yet again tonight.
That's a really good point, Dean. He definitely finds himself to be around at the end of the race, and that's what you need to have. Be around at the end of the race, and you know, you can't discredit that at all. And he's doing a good job running in 8th place. Good points tonight as he's trying to get back in there after missing last week's race because he was moving to a new place. So congrats to Alex on that.
You know, I was just take a peek in up front there. JW was all over our leader, a little bit heavy on the drive in down the hill to that hard left-hander, overshot the corner a little bit, so he lost a little track position, and he's got work to do to catch back up now.
And we go on board here with our dynamic cameras, and you can definitely see that gap has increased between those two drivers, and Wilhite's there as well. I mean, this is an amazing little battle. We've had some great reaction here at America's National Park for Speed.
Man, this is just turning into a wonderful race here. JW is right there. I know he can close back in because he was already up there once. And Wilhite is hanging around. Man, he is turning some fast laps, Jared. All top 3 guys in the 146s here.
Let's bring up that last lap time there. You'll see it pop out on your screen. And some greens. Kinder put down a 146, as did Wilhite. Both of those guys went green that last time by. So there is some speed to be found out here on lap 14. As Dean, we're approaching halfway already. This thing's going quick.
It's going real quick. And, you know, this is going to be all about these last pit stops, I think, because I don't think these top 3 are going to do battle during this run anymore. I think you're going to wait for pit stops. Could be a strategy call, go in one earlier or one later. I mean, you love the short pit, Jared. I think I'm with you. You might want a short pit tonight.
Yeah, we definitely know there's going to be another pit stop here, and we see somebody else there going a lap down, gets out of the way there. That might have been Joseph Gravala.
Speaking of a short pit, James Watson in the pits right now. Not sure what happened to James. Looks like he had some kind of problem. I'll try and figure that out.
So Dean's taking a look there. 14 laps into the Grand Prix of Wisconsin here on the ESRA IndyCar Series. Round number 11 of 16. This series getting down to the end. And right now, Roger Rios-Mateos increasing his gap out in front over Mr. Chris Wilhite and J.W. Miller.
So very unfortunate for James Watson going down into one. He's got a lap car on the outside of him, or in the inside of him. He tries to drive around the outside, connects wheels, goes off into the dirt patch, losing a wing. Heavy damage on that car. He might be done for the night.
They do have one fast repair. Let's see if we can get a replay of that while we have a little bit of a lull in the action. You can see it right there in front of them. That is the 10 car of Alec Coates in front of him. That was a battle for position, and there was a car on the inside, and I'm not sure who that was, but that is extremely unfortunate, as he definitely lost a part of that wing.
Yeah, just super unfortunate timing there, and not much more you can say about it. Zach T. Evans hits pit road.
Dean, I'm trying to figure out. I think that might have been Scott Weiss, if I'm not mistaken there.
It could be. I couldn't get a good look at it, Jared, and
No, it was
honestly
not.
didn't bother looking too hard at it right now.
It was not Scott Weiss, so want to make sure we keep that in mind here. But right now, back up front, Roger Rios-Mateos, J.W. Miller, and that gap is continuing to increase. But these guys are all on the same section of the track as Mateos locks up hardcore going into turn number 8.
Matthias is starting to really put down some times. He is pushing that machine for all it's worth. He's about like 0.6 faster that last lap. So he wants to, going into these pit stops, he is determined to cut himself a lead here.
Dean, heavy impact for Zach Evans, hard into the turn 1 wall. That machine was the one that connected with James Watson, and I think he had some damage, didn't realize it, and that car hard into the turn number 1 wall. He's gone back to pits.
Wow, that's so unfortunate. And that's what we talked about early in the broadcast. I mean, you've got to stay out here. You've got to stay on track. And, bring up one of our drivers we were just talking about a few minutes ago, Alexander Ball, has slipped into 6th place already without doing anything, Jared. This is what he does.
Alex Ball doing a great job here tonight, but the negative part of this is his point contenders, Alec Coates and J.W. Miller, they're both in front of him right now.
Well, there is that, but I mean, there's other points battles and just a sense of pride. I mean, when you look into league racing and the guys around you, the guys watching, and the admins and all that stuff, these are the type of people you want in your league. Alexander Ball is a prototypical driver that you want to have in your league. Doesn't cause any problems, has great finishes, always competitive. I love him, and I love that number. You know that, the 29, man.
That's what it really comes down to, is the number. The number is why you pull for Alex Ball. It's okay.
It may be, but I love the way he drives too, Jared. I mean, if you looked at his amount of incidents for the year, I would imagine he's one of the lowest on the service.
Yeah, you're really good point there, Dean. I mean, he is doing a whale of a job. Speaking of drivers doing a whale of a job, Alexis Newsom has a lot of time to catch up, but she just went purple. That's the fastest lap of the race, and she's getting it done right now.
Good to see her out here persevere, and I love it. I love it when people don't quit. So we got the 63 out here going purple with a 1:45.31. That is over a second faster than our leader is running right now.
Yeah, you're exactly right, Dean. You checking in on the leaders again. J.W. Miller and Wilhite staying right there, Dean. I mean, he's not letting these guys get away from him. Coates has dropped a little bit back into 4th, and now Benjamin Combs is starting to catch him. So we're going to have a little bit of a battle.
Wilhite is in.
So Wilhite making his 2nd pit stop, and I like it, Dean. The undercut happening.
The undercut is definitely on here tonight on lap 17. He might even do an extra pit stop. I'm not sure at this point. We are just past halfway.
Just past halfway, and we've already had 2 pit stops. And Dean, to be fair, maybe this track is very quick. and to our viewers, it may not look like, but this is a 4-mile track. In fact, when NASCAR, the Cup Series, visits this track for the first time later this year, it will be the longest track that the NASCAR Cup Series has ever raced on. So it's deceiving in how big it is.
Yeah, it is deceiving. There's no doubt. It's very fast. Got some fast sections of track, so the times are not indicative of just how long this track is. Sebastian Kinder also on pit road currently.
Looking at some other guys here too, Dean. Jay Shallington having a quiet night, 7th place, and has just 1 incident point, so doing a pretty good job. Actually, I think everybody in the race has an incident point except your man Alex Ball and Roger Rios-Mateus, so there you go, and Alec Coates.
Yeah, no surprise. Coates is very similar to Ball in the way they drive, looking for clean. We've seen him avoid the aggressive driving of Watson and Newsom, and look where those two are, right? Watson out of the race, perhaps, or at least in some real problem. He's actually in 10th right now, and Newsom in 11th. So it's really paid off for Coates, who's in 3rd place.
And you see Ball letting Wilhite go by, his teammate there, and no reason to race your teammate. And Alexis Newsom is the driver right there behind him. But Alexis Newsom's got a lot of work cut out because she's going to have to get her lap back. There's probably going to be a caution in this race. So that's going to make it really difficult for her to get back in this race. But she's going to give it her all.
No, she probably won't be a caution. And there's almost a chance that she'll be the caution if there is one. And I hate to say that, Alexis, but driving very, very aggressively, very fast here tonight and doing a heck of a job, man. I give her credit. I can't race like that.
She is on the gas here tonight. Locks it up hard going into Canada corner, but keeps that thing going. But, running in 11th place right now. James Watson, Cullen Johnson are drivers she can pass, though. So that is something for her to aim for. Back up front, it's Mateus. The gap has come down a little bit as we take a look at our timing delta here. And you'll see the gap has gone just a little bit toward Mateus's favor. But Miller's starting to claw a little bit back.
Yeah, Miller, 3 tenths faster or 2.5 tenths faster that last lap. So doing a nice job. But Matthias, man, he has set sail as he really looks to gap him off. And, they must be on just a 2-stop strategy here, Jared. Look for them to get to about lap 22 because otherwise they've made a huge mistake and Wilhite will be the leader. And I think he will be the leader regardless here.
And Dean, we see this in real life in Formula One and IndyCar. Sometimes you have a situation on your hand or a dilemma on your hand where you may be a 1-stop strategy versus a 2-stop strategy or a 2-stop strategy versus a 3-stop strategy. And if there's a guy that knows, as we see J.W. Miller heading in, if there's a guy that's figured out that pit strategy ahead of time, it's Chris Wilhite. And it's going to be interesting to see what happens as this race goes on.
We talk about it a lot, and J.W. in here on lap 18, in 19, the start of lap 19, he's on pit road, so it's either an undercut or I'm not sure these guys can make it, Jared. I mean, they pitted early last time as Coates comes in as well.
Mateus locks it up hard again. He's using the Reds, the life of those Reds up, and as Dean alluded to, Alec Coates is in. That's going to turn 2nd place over to Benjamin Combs. Having a quiet night. He's been in the top 5 all night, Dean, but has just been quiet all night.
Yeah, we always say that's a good thing. If we haven't called your name, you haven't been involved in anything, no mistakes. Combs, 2nd place, up 7 spots on the night. Really having a nice night. I like what he's been doing lately here at the ESRA Racing Indy Series.
Yeah, exactly right. And he's one of those other drivers that races in multiple IndyCar leagues. Very successful Indy-oriented driver, if you will, and having a good run here tonight. But pit strategy is going to have to play out for him. And maybe he's one of those guys, Dean, that tries to go for a 2-stopper.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, it's hard to say what these guys are thinking. I'm sure someone will. Our guy Thaddeus McMurray, who the only guy on the alternate compound, driving extremely slow around the track, Jared. So really not a factor strategy-wise.
It's tough to see. Thaddeus has had a couple off tracks, so just not being able to get it done here tonight. Tough track, but Thaddeus hanging in there and back in 12th position. As we look back up front, Roger Rios-Mateus, very loose coming up the hill there to the front straightaway, and he is heading to the pit road now, Dean.
Yeah, it's only lap 19 going into 20, so I'm thinking they all have to stop one more time. I like what Wilhite did, and we'll see. I think Wilhite might take over this lead, or actually JW is actually in front of him, so looks like JW will inherit the lead.
So JW Miller, I think, is going to inherit this lead. Let's bring up our track map here, and you'll see it. So Mateus is that one that is kind of unhighlighted there. Combs is also in. So Miller is coming up the hill right now. And
Mateus just in his box now.
Heading up to the front straightaway. How much of a gap is JW Miller going to be able to increase on Mateus here?
Looks like he'll have a decent little gap here. Mateus down and away now.
On board
And
Miller.
no, we got to fight down into the corner. He's going to beat him.
Wow. Mateus barely holds onto that position, Dean. It was close when we were looking at the track map. I don't think it could have gotten too much closer than that.
No, I don't think it could have. You look at the pit lap times, it's a 48 for Mateus and a 47.2 for Miller. Miller, again, doing an excellent job. Just wasn't quite enough.
Yeah, Miller all over him, heading out of the moraine. Sweeping. Oh, Mateus gets off the track, and now Miller's looking up underneath of him going into turn 5.
He's going to try and make that move, Jared. Oh, that's a tough one.
The hurry down's not exactly a passing area of the track. Miller had to back out of it a little bit. There's lap traffic ahead that might influence.
Yeah, and this is bad news for these guys chasing. He would have been nice if he could have got around and perhaps slowed down Rios Mateus for a little bit, but not going to get it done here.
Mateus is locking those brakes up hard. Miller going to get a great run off the carousel. Takes the lead going to the kink.
Mr. Excitement to the point. J.W. Miller. Excellent move there.
And coming down to Canada corner, Mateus looked underneath. Won't be able to get the undercut going back around. And J.W. Miller is going to take over this lead heading up the hill back to the front stretch.
Man, we've seen this before. Now, can Rios Mateus keep his composure here and not overextend this vehicle?
And don't forget, Dean, I mean, Wilhite is in the background. He's not in this battle, but he's in the periphery right now.
He is always in the battle and always in the periphery. He is dangerous, and big move here from Rios Mateus.
Mateus looking on the inside, and he's going to take the lead in turn 1.
Yeah, great job by him, regaining that lead very quickly. That's unfortunate. And again, though, he's locking up that tire. He continues to make these little mistakes.
And Dean, if I'm J.W. Miller and I'm seeing that, maybe you don't try to pass him, but you put him under pressure. Make him make a mistake like that. Make him use his rubber up, and then you know what you got going into that last pit stop.
Definitely. You got to fill that mirror. You got to make him keep thinking you're coming. You cannot give him any breathing room. He's making mistakes. Continue to hound him.
Heading back down to the hurry downs. Last time we saw near contact between these two drivers. But Dean, I mean, it's been amazing racing. These guys have done such a great job in this race tonight, as Mateus getting through turn number 8 this time without locking it up.
Yeah, he'll start to smooth it out. The bigger this gap gets, he'll become smoother and smoother.
Heading down through the kink, out to Kettle Bottoms, into Canada corner. A little bit off track there. Kick up a little bit of dust, and that does actually agitate you a little bit in an IndyCar because these don't have the visors. They don't have visors anymore, so you can't just tear off and get rid of that debris that's kind of on your visor there, and you have to wait till a pit stop now. So I like the dirt move.
So a little update for you. Alexis Newsom down in the final corner, a little overextended into the dirt, got loose, down into the inside wall. Heavy damage on that car. She is currently sitting in the pits, and just unfortunate to see.
Very unfortunate. Definitely, I think, had the fastest vehicle out here tonight, but, you know, sometimes you just have to... Miller has made another move. Battle for the lead again. Side by side going into turn 2. Miller's going to inherit the lead again.
Wow, Miller impressing on those older tires. He continues to fight and take over this lead. Will Mateus immediately try to regain it here?
Heading down the Maureen sweep into the Corvette corners. And hard on the brakes. Mateus has to go on the outside there. He's going to get a good run off the corner. And Miller spins it. Miller slides the tires. Wilhite comes through.
J.W. Miller again to the lead and has a mistake. Wow, it's heartbreaking to watch.
Miller is not a guy we've seen make these kind of mistakes, Dean. And I thought it was going to be the other way around, to be honest with you. But Mateus withstood some hard pressure there.
Well, you know,
and Miller's off again.
Miller was hounding Mateus looking for that mistake. He got to the lead, we come down to the heaviest, hardest braking zone, and I think Miller felt the pressure of such a fast guy on his bumper, didn't know when to brake, kind of lost his marks, and therefore lost his grip, and wow, is that unfortunate. Ball is up into third place now.
And Dean, I want to point out here, Alex Ball, number one, he is in third place. Number two, he has not pitted yet. He has gone... He pitted on lap 10. He's gone 12 laps. This could be our two-stop strategy guy here, Dean.
My goodness, could Alexander Ball steal the win here?
Oh, Watson's off
in front of him.
Watson's off. Ball.
And that's going to slow him up a little bit, but great avoidance. Again, the professional Alexander Ball not getting involved in what could have been a race.
Oh, he's off
the track.
He's off and he hits the tire barrier. He's lost the right front.
My goodness.
And he's coming across the pits, and Benjamin Combs has to take evasive action. My goodness.
What has just happened, Jared?
Did we give him the commentator's curse?
I think it's obvious we did. I apologize for that, but the 29 making an uncanny mistake out of nowhere. Just hard to believe. I think that car in front of him threw everything out of whack for him. You know, he had to slow up for it. Then he didn't know when to brake, and he just blew a corner. Heavy damage to the car. Wow, Ball could have been a race winner. That is heartbreaking.
Well, Dean, he's still not out of this yet. He has that ability to get that fast repair. He's down and away. So, really, if anything, that was a very lucky incident because he wrecked going into the last corner, was able to get across the track. The car was still drivable. I don't think he's going to be that much worse for the wear.
No, but maybe not enough for a win, as JW has come in and made his pit stop. So JW Miller now has got to lay down some serious laps and hope he gets out in front of Rios Mateos. Whenever Rios Mateos decides to pit, he may not pit until, say, lap 28 or something.
And Dean, the pit window's open now. I mean, every driver here can make at least 11 laps. So everybody can pit anytime now, and it's going to be really interesting to see who is going to come in. We already have Miller in. Obviously, Alex Ball's in. James Watson also in. So 3 drivers already taking a little bit at the pay window.
Yeah, and I think it's a great move for Miller to get in here. Little surprised Will Height's not in, but maybe he's trying to extend Rios Mateos a bit. I'm not sure what the guys are thinking right now. Tough decisions to make out here.
Well, I mean, you know, the other thing too, Damon, is we sometimes neglect the team strategy. Ball and Wilhite on the same team, and clearly Ball was going for the 2-stopper. Wilhite's most definitely on a 3-stopper here. I have to wonder if maybe they were doing a split strategy to kind of think about getting their chances at the victory a little bit easier. And Wilhite goes off the track.
Wilhite off the track. Wow. Mistakes continue. That'll only help J.W. Miller.
And Dean, I have to just shout out. We've talked about Mateus making some mistakes. Yeah, he's locked up the brakes, but the guy has 0 incidents in this race.
Yeah, 0 incidents. He knows what he's doing out there, and he's pushing that car to the limit, doing a great job. Another guy I want to check in is a 97, Sebastian Kinder, out here in 5th place right now, having himself a nice run in that funky paint job car there.
Yeah, Sebastian Kinder, the Frenchman. That moniker, Sebastian Bourdais, another famous Frenchman. So that is awesome to see him out here. I love that car. I mean, it's unique as heck. And Kinder doing a good job. And he's been quiet in this race. Does have a couple incidents where he's got off the track, but has kept that car mostly clean here tonight. And top 5 would be a great run for him.
Yeah, it'd be an awesome run, especially where he started. He started back in 7th. I mean, just a real nice night so far for Kinder. Wilhite is in.
So Wilhite's in. That's going to open this door up just a little bit to see what the strategy is going to do here. We got Alec Coates on the track as well. Somebody we don't want to neglect to talk about. Benjamin Combs is chasing him down. That's a battle for 3rd as Coates is going to stay out this lap.
Yeah, Combs is starting to really turn some nice laps here, turning a 1:47.45 last lap, just about a half second slower than our leaders. So pretty good time out of Combs. He's looking good tonight.
Let's see that gap between himself and it's going to give us Will Height. So we'll have to come back to this and just, there it goes. Here we go. So it is, the gap has been steady between Miller and Coates, but over the last couple of laps, that gap has come toward Coates' favor. So he has that opportunity coming up to catch up to Coates.
He definitely does, and he gets stronger and stronger the longer this race goes on. And you'll see that from some guys, maybe not that familiar with this track. They're only going to get stronger the more laps they turn out here. Combs, one of those guys tonight, up 6 spots on the evening.
You're exactly right. And, you know, I should be remiss to say, but Roger Mateus had a great battle here at Road America in the Thunder Series here at ESRA last season with Mario Miranda. Those two guys battled hard. Those are the trucks, the NASCAR trucks, for those that are not familiar with the Thunder Series. So Mateus definitely knows his way around this track and has shown it here tonight that he really wants this victory.
Yeah, he's showing he wants it and he can get it done. But I'll tell you, J.W. Miller just turned the fastest lap on the track at a 1:46.06.
Here we
or at
go.
least his personal best.
He is in the pits. Mateus is in. He's got a 26-second lead over Coates. He's got a 44-second lead over Will Height. So that's going to be really close, Dean. We're looking at the pit times, and we're thinking about 46, 47 seconds at best for pit lane time. So Will Height's going to be really close here.
Yeah, he should be close, but it should be Rios Mateos. Unfortunately for JW, the mistake he made is going to take him out of the picture here. I was remiss to not mention that or think about that, but Will Height got an outside shot coming out of our final turn, I think.
Yeah, he is. Coming out of the final turn, coming up the front straightaway here. And we see down at the bottom, Mateus is down and away. Here comes Will Height. He's going to be full power. Mateus with a 52-second pit lane time, though, Dean.
Wow. Shockingly long stop for Roger Rios Mateos.
But, you know, that could be one of those situations, Dean. You have a gap, and sometimes it's best to just go in there easy rather than trying to gain a tenth or two.
Yeah, I think, you know, he realized the situation better than we did. He knew the gap he had. He was not going to make any mistakes, and he just took a gingerly approach there and just maintained his lead. As we see Sebastian Kinder also hitting pit road.
So Kinder is in. Now we're getting down to our final pit stops. I have to circle Jay Shallington. He has not made his final stop yet. He's just ahead of Alex Ball, who's in a thick mess of traffic here. He just got through it, actually. That included Cullen Johnston and James Watson. Those guys battling for 9th place. So good job for Cullen Johnston trying to hold off James Watson right behind him.
Yeah, Cullen Johnston, you know, doing a nice journeyman's job here in 9th place. He's going to lose that to Watson right there, who wiggles down through braking.
Wow, Watson got down the grass, so Johnston going to lose out that position. And now Casey Duncan, another driver we haven't talked a lot about tonight, going to be under pressure here to get around Cullen Johnston. And that's a battle for the top 10 position here tonight, Dean, so very important for these drivers.
Definitely. Very important. Every position, every point becomes more and more important the later we get in the season. And these guys are going to fight for all of them.
So we got Casey Duncan, Cullen Johnston, and James Watson all in this battle. They are one lap down. Kinder, the last driver, on the lead lap, comfortably on the lead lap, but kind of in no man's land right now in 8th place. Right ahead of him, Alex Ball continued to move forward. He's on a 2-stop strategy, but did make one little mistake that may have cost him his shot. But we'll see as several drivers in front of him still have to make one more stop.
So see them. These all must be these Team Watson cars out here. I believe there's another team, Team Mediocre Motorsports and Team Watson Racing here, running those very colorful schemes tonight.
Yeah, we've seen Mediocre Motorsports pretty much run a similar paint job across all their drivers. So Cullen Johnson, Alec Coates, very similar looking paint jobs for those drivers. Beautiful cars. I wish I could paint like that.
It looks like Cullen Johnson, while we were talking, went off track there.
Oh, he's missing his
Trying
wheel.
to get a look in and see what happened to him.
He is missing the right front, and he's missing his wing. So hard contact for Cullen. We'll wait for an update for Dean.
Wow, very unfortunate there through those final S's coming down into the last turn, and he just kind of it just lost grip coming up over that little hill there, and he went down to the inside wall or the outside wall, I guess it is.
We go on board. Colin Johnson coming up the hill there, gets on the grass, and exactly right, Dean slides it and lost the front wing. And yeah, in the right front tire, even though our images showed that it was gone, it definitely broke the suspension. I don't think it was totally removed, but tough break for Colin, having a great race.
And unfortunately, Jared, if you can still hear me, I am frozen here. So
We still got you, Dean. And so right now, Mateus with the lead, Wilhite in second place, but having some timing and scoring issues here, Dean, as Wilhite has disappeared from our screen. JW Miller has disappeared. So we're having maybe some technical issues here if you're still with us, Dean.
it looks like the server has gone down for everybody. Either that or it's for us. I don't know, but I am black screen now, Jared.
And that was a similar issue that happened to me at the beginning of the broadcast. But right now we still have Mateus on track. Sebastian Kinder is still on track. That might be the only two drivers and myself. Yes, that's the only people in this server right now, as everybody else has dropped out. And now
Wow.
we've all lost out. So the server has gone down here.
Wow. Well, folks, I mean, if we could throw up a screenshot or something and kind of talk through this, Jared. I mean, it was an incredible race. This is a highly unfortunate way to end it. I don't know what the call will be. We'll try and get word on Discord in a minute as to what will be done, but I would imagine they might call this a final race and a victory for Rios Mateos, who would deserve it.
I'm still in the server. We got one driver still out here. So I'm not alone.
I got the rejoin button now, so I'm coming back in. But I mean, I don't know if these guys are going to try and rejoin or what, but this is going to be a lot to sort out, folks. And we're going to get word with our admins and everything and figure it all out. But some heartbreak out there for some and maybe a second chance for others. Who knows?
Sebastian Kinder is still on the track, and Roger Rios Mateus. So we're still going. Several drivers coming back in the race. So this is very unfortunate. But right now, as things stand, with Wilhite dropping out, that's going to put the Frenchman in second place.
Oh, that'd be a great finish for Kinder. But this is like a race within a race, Jared. This is like a pit stop. You got to go reload the screen and everything. Who can do it quickest?
It kind of reminds me of how they used to do Le Mans back in the day. You know, the driver started from their pit box and had to run to the car, start it, and then drive off. So it's kind of what's going on here. We're trying to get word on what's going on right now, but James Watson's still out there. Alex Ball is out there. A very confusing situation for us as we try to suss this out.
Yeah, I might slip out here for a minute and try and figure that out for us, Jared.
So Dean's going to look at that. We're going to keep an eye on the broadcast here and see what's going on. Mateus leading. Kinder is in second position. He's on pit road. Not sure exactly why. Chris Wilhite has rejoined the race. James Watson is in the pits. JW Miller is back in, it looks like. So, folks, we apologize. Sometimes, unfortunately, with internet activity or online gaming, you have these issues happen from time to time. We don't know if it's a iRacing issue, if it's a specific route issue as Mateus heads into pit road. And I wonder if there's been an admin call to do something here. I have not heard anything from myself right now as we're waiting on Dean Doucet to get some information from race control. But Mateus is coming in the pits, and my guess is they have called this race at a specific lap.
All right, Jared, we have word. We will freeze this race at the time of the blackout. So our race winner going to be Rios Mateos. Wilhite will be in second, and JW Miller in third.
So there you have it. All the drivers were heading down pit road here. Tough break for Kinder. I mean, the Frenchman was staying in the race, but Great win for Roger Rios Mateus, and kind of anticlimactic, but as I was saying to our viewers out there, sometimes this happens with online gaming.
Does, and I mean, you just have to battle through it. I mean, it's a little unfortunate for us and for our viewers, but for the racers, it's almost status quo. I mean, I think that's the top three finishers are exactly right. Hopefully, nobody else got harmed too bad. There might be a little bit of, a couple of guys could have picked up a couple of spots with some fresher tires, but all in all, fantastic race again. These guys are doing road racing just incredibly, Jared. I'm really enjoying covering this action.
Yeah, it's been great here tonight. Unfortunately, because of the server issues, we will not be able to bring you an updated points look after the race, unfortunately, as the positions are out of order here. But we can be assured that Chris Wilhite will retain his lead heading into next week's race. And, hopefully we don't have that issue again, especially as we head to Richmond Raceway, a short track next week.
It is what it is, as they say.
So we are going to take a quick commercial break, and then we are going to hear from our top three finishers, J.W. Miller, Chris Wilhite, and Mr. Roger Rios Mateus. We'll be back after this commercial break. All right, we're back live here at Road America, where Roger Rios Mateus grabs his second win on the roadies this year. I think his third overall of the season. And what a race it was, but a great battle. Thought J.W. Miller might be able to get there. Had some interesting action throughout the race all night. Very action-packed.
It was action packed. Like I said, I mean, I'm an oval racer at heart, but I have really enjoyed these road races in this series more so than any other time that I've been around road racing. There's just been fantastic battles. We've seen it all tonight. JW swapping the lead with Mateus. Will Height starting up front tonight, or getting to the front anyway. I can't really remember at this point, but and lots of other action. Newsom was like a rocket ship out there. Jared, we had it all. It was a lot of fun.
You're exactly right, Dean. And I believe that it was J.W. Miller that finished in third place. We got him down here tonight. J.W., congrats on finishing on the podium. Had just a really excellent race. Did you think you had anything for Roger Rios Mateus tonight?
I definitely think we had something for him. But, just issues there, hard racing. He really put a good fight to me, and I was the one that folded. But, unfortunately, that one had to end the way it did because we were on track for finishing the race there with fuel. So
Yeah, tough break, and sometimes these things happen in big-time internet racing here. But JW had a great run. Started in sixth place, so you're kind of out of that position to get to the front early on, but you made it work. You got yourself up into position, and before you do it, you're trying to get the lead. You actually took over the lead a couple times. How much thought did you put into pit strategy in this race? Because it seemed like there was a couple different ways to go here tonight.
yeah, it was definitely interesting for pit strategies there. We were just thinking, 9, 18, and 27, and then have like 6 laps left to finish out the race. But yeah, no, it was interesting. That's for sure. I know that we gained a lot of time coming into the pits, especially there on Rogers. So that kind of helped us stay with him there. I think the second time that we pit.
Yeah, and you know we'd be remiss to not mention the beginning of the race. I mean, during that first stint, you guys were battling pretty hard. You were behind Chris Wilhite, and all of a sudden, Alexis Newsom slides it into Canada corner and passes you there. I mean, there was some great action. I mean, how was it out there on the track for you with all those really great passing action and a lot of opportunities here at Road America?
It was awesome. There's a lot of really talented drivers out there. We've gotten a few more in that have kind of filled out the field in between, which is really nice. It's just I think I was kind of going into this race knowing that I wasn't going to be the fastest one, but that uh, endurance is pretty key, especially with having to stop 3 times. So yeah, it was just racing like normal, I guess.
Well, there you go, JW. We don't officially know how you did in the points here, but we know you closed the gap down to Alec Coates. Headed into Richmond Raceway next week, the only short track on the real short track on the schedule. We did race Iowa, a little bit different atmosphere at Iowa than Richmond. What can we expect next week here in the IndyCar series at Richmond?
I definitely like the 1 milers in the stock cars. I have not done Richmond in the IndyCar, so that should be very interesting race, but hopefully we'll be able to keep it clean out there and not have to use our fast repair up right away.
Well, JW, congrats on that podium finish, man, and it made it exciting again. I'm going to turn the floor over to you, bud, and let you have the last word here tonight.
Yeah, thanks as always to Dark Horse Racing. Glad that could throw them another podium tonight. Thanks to everybody that puts on the league, Alec Coates, Colin Johnston, Kyle Ramsey for doing the race control, and you guys as always for the broadcast.
We appreciate it, JW. And Mr. Dean Doucet, I believe you're down there with the guy that's on one step higher of the podium, our point leader, Mr. Chris Wilhite.
No surprise, I'm down here with the number 7, Chris Wilhite, finishing second tonight. Chris, is a great run for you out here. You looked really great and really comfortable out here on the road course at Road America.
Yeah, thanks, Dean. A real good night for us. Got the pole, which on a road course for me to go out there and out qualify, JW and Roger, those guys. That's a big win. So no, it felt good tonight. Fun track for these cars. It was a fun race.
And you brought up the pole. I mean, I'd hate to say we're shocked to see you on the pole. You're a great driver, but talk a little bit about Road America. I mean, it is something a little more comfortable for some of the NASCAR style drivers. Did that have some influence, just the familiarity with the track?
Yeah, no, we ran Road America week 1 of the official Open Indy Series this year. So put in a lot of laps before that, especially given it was the opening week on the new tire model, and put in quite a few laps this week. It's a good track for me, comfortable with it. It's something a little different. It's kind of wide, high speed corners, just a little bit different feel. Certainly different than Belle Isle. But yeah, we had a good groove going tonight.
Thing that's different than Belle Isle is an understatement for sure. It's a much different track. Let's talk about your race now. You're up there. You're on the pole. Of course, you got an extremely fast driver in Mateus behind you. JW's right there. You're thinking about maybe letting him go. Alexis Newsom's up there fighting as well, extremely fast. And you have a little problem there. I think it was down in Canada Corner. Decided to take it into the pits.
It was. So we started off in the lead, and then I think Roger got by us. Didn't really necessarily let him by, but I was going to try to make it on 2 stops. And my teammate Alex Ball was going to make that work. So in hindsight, I think it would have worked. So I was playing around with the fuel map. He got by us, and then that one lap he cooked it a little bit in the Canada corner, and he was right in front of me. And sometimes that happens, right? When one guy gets a little bit off, and then all of a sudden you make a mistake. I barely nicked the tire barriers. At that point, I could see the wing was a little bit damaged, so I had to duck into the pits. And in hindsight, it didn't kill us because everybody else was on a 3-stop strategy. But hindsight, if that didn't happen, I think I may have been able to make it in 2.
Wouldn't that have been huge? We were keeping an eye on Ball. We've seen that. He had an incident, unbelievable for him. I mean, he had a lap car around him on the track, and it did exactly what you're talking about. Just threw him off and threw his whole throttle and braking off, and he made a very rare mistake at Alexander Ball. Kind of killed his strategy as well. But man, would we like to seen that play out? I think he might have stole one if he got that going. But another great night, Chris. We look forward now. We're going back to Richmond. I mean, I got to think, my thoughts are you're probably pretty excited to head there.
A tough track in these cars, but that's going to be a tough night, physical night. There's going to be a lot of traffic, short track driving, right? But yeah, that's a good track. It's a strong track. So we're definitely excited for next week.
We're excited to broadcast you, Chris. And as always, we're excited that you're the points leader. You're representing this league. I think you're doing a fantastic job out there. Big congratulations on not only maintaining that lead, but extending it further with a second place finish and a pole. We won't forget, Chris, a great pole tonight. So congratulations, man. And the floor is yours.
Thanks, Dean. I appreciate you guys at Full Throttle TV. You always do a great job. Big shout out to Team Ball Racing. We had a good night tonight and had some differing strategies going on there. And just shout out to the league and Colin and everybody. Obviously, we had some connection failures there at the end. And I think that was the right call for the league since it was so many guys to go ahead and call it. We only had, 5 or 6 laps left. So those decisions are tough. But I respect those guys for making it.
I think it was a great call by the league and a great race by you, Chris. Jared, that's our second place finisher, Chris Wilhite.
Yeah, and I'm down here in victory lane with Roger Rios-Matias picking up another road course win to go with his one oval win this year. Roger, congratulations, man. Dominating performance here tonight, but it didn't come easy.
No, it was quite a battle with JW for a while. Good fun, though.
Yeah, so, you start out, you started second, started alongside Chris Wilhite. You had to battle through him first at the beginning of that race, and then all of a sudden, when you finally got around him, you kind of opened up that gap a little bit, but there's Mr. Excitement, JW Miller in your mirror. You had a lot of close calls with him, but you guys had some incredible battles going through the carousel, the kink, and Canada corner down through there.
Hoping we were able to keep it going throughout the whole race, but like I told him, I was like, you got a little throttle happy out of that turn.
Yeah, we did see him make a little bit of an error there and kind of gave it away at the end. And the pit strategy was really interesting. It seemed like you were one of the guys that stayed out as long as you could on that 2 or 3 stop strategy here tonight. We talked to some other guys that were maybe contemplating a 2-stop strategy. What kind of thoughts were you having as far as pit strategy heading into this race tonight?
Well, I thought we'd be able to get 11 laps out of fuel, but once I started, it's like there's no way. And that second run, the tires just seemed to disappear around 8 laps into it, so I had to stop earlier than I wanted to.
Yeah, tires on those reds. Did you have any thought of switching over to the harder black tires?
No, because I knew I'd get caught if I did. So I just went with the reds and knew I just had to stop a third time.
Well, Roger, you had a great race tonight. We look ahead. Richmond Raceway next week. I mean, we've seen you pick up a win on an oval, but it was a bigger oval. I believe it was Chicagoland that you won at. And now we're heading to the smallest track on the circuit, the 3/4 mile Richmond Raceway. What are you looking forward to in that race, or are you looking forward to it?
Looking forward to survive, because I'm not sure how it's going to be in these cars.
Yeah, it's going to be a long race, 180 laps. But Roger, man, great race tonight, man. Picking up your 3rd race win of the year. Don't have any updates on points or anything like that because the server issues. But, man, I'm going to turn the floor over to you, man, and congratulations again on a great finish.
I appreciate it. Thank you, guys. Thank the league and the teammates and all the good fun with the guys. Appreciate it.
All right, Dean. That was Mr. Roger Rios-Matias grabbing his 3rd win of the year in kind of interesting fashion, but nonetheless, a win is a win.
as a win for sure. You take him when you can get him, and he's got many of them. So he's having a heck of a season, man. And he missed a couple of races early on, or he might be up there battling Will Height much closer. But what an exciting to watch him and JW Chris Wilhite in the mix tonight at a road course looked really good. We missed Mario Miranda out there, but lots of other guys, and very interesting. Wilhite was on a 2-stopper, Jared. That
Yeah.
could have really been something.
That was really interesting to hear that. I would love to have seen that play out a little bit differently, but it is where it is, as Dean has said. And we look ahead. We have 5 more races left in the ESRA IndyCar Series. Richmond, Watkins Glen, Gateway, or Worldwide Technology Raceway, as they call it now, Mid-Ohio and Las Vegas. I can't think of a better 5 final races in this IndyCar season, Dean.
Oh, it's going to be very exciting. Lots of mix again, but these are going to be some really intense races, and especially these oval tracks. I look forward to a couple of these. I think they're going to be pretty intense out there.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Well, tonight, great win for Roger Rios Mateus. Chris Wilhite will extend his point lead. We don't know how much, but we will get you a full recap next week on the Road America final results here once we have that available. As the admins are doing a great job, they have to look through a lot of videotape to determine everything. So tough, unfortunate incident, but as we said, that is something that happens in big-time online racing. Looking ahead to Full Throttle TV schedule, we got a brand new series coming out Saturday night. It's road racing. It's multi-class road racing, and it's over at Full Throttle Sim Racing. The Sim Racing Points Sports Car Series is going to be broadcasted live. Tune in. Myself and Dean Doucet back in the booth. I'm excited to call that action there. It's going to be a great race live from Sebring International Raceway. And then on Sunday night, the ESRA Clash Series back in action. Not 100% sure where they're at, but I believe it's Atlanta Motor Speedway. Or no, it's not. It's Bristol Dirt. It's Bristol Dirt. I'm excited to watch that race because that'll be the first time I've seen our league race on the dirt. Should be really interesting there. And then we'll be back on Monday night with the Dark Matter Designs Cup Series from Full Throttle Sim Racing. Those guys going to be at Phoenix Raceway. Should be a great way to wrap up your week. Hope you join us there. But for Dean Doucet, I'm Jared Carr, and we will see you guys out on the track.